So, welcome back to the Dystopian Man. So, she responded, I'm 38, but thank you. I appreciate you doing this video with me. I'm going to get straight into it. So, still watching the video. I truly do appreciate this. I do have a question. How cheap are your meals? I see you're not from America, and I've watched a plethora of videos of, and this is the problem. I watch a plethora of prices of food in Europe, and it's much cheaper than food prices in America. I've got to be honest with you here, right? You always have some form of excuse. House prices in London, right, or in the UK in general, are more expensive than in America. Yet I've still managed to buy a house, right? There's always like if I go through even to the next response, okay? Unfortunately, nothing in America is 20 cents. There's no small name brand of pasta. It's £1.50. And a can of beans is almost £1.50. I wish we had your prices. See, it's the same bullshit. I wish I had your prices when it came down to housing, when it came down to buying cars. You know, American cars are a lot cheaper than over here in the UK. But I've still got to get cars fixed and everything. There's so much shit that you get that's not, it's so much cheaper. And over here, it's ridiculous. I'm not done watching your video, but I hear you keep suggesting that I walk to work. If I did that, it would take me 2.5 hours there and back, which is a total of 5 hours. That's your problem. The problem is, if you didn't quit your first job in the first place, saved that money. Okay, I'm gonna have to be brutal here. Save that money, got a bike or a scooter, something of that nature, right? You could have then got to work at a better time, but you didn't, because this is how your story went. You got a job, you sprained your ankle. Fast forward, I'm being evicted. We're going to stick on that point, right? Because you found a way out, because you got a job, you sprained your ankle. You didn't keep the job. You said your job, right, paid everything all in was 1,600, right? Everything all in was 1,600. That's what she said. Right, I've got it here in the video. 1,600, everything all in. So how are you in it? How are you getting evicted? Because you had enough to pay your rent. So how are you getting evicted? You're leaving so much of this stuff out, right? It's unbelievable. You have to stop this victim mentality, because what you don't seem to realize is, what are you going to do in 20 years' time? It's a serious question I'm asking you. And anybody who's not taking their finances seriously and having this sort of victim mentality, like, oh, when's it going to be enough? When you do something about it. You're talking to a guy that used to sleep in a car, who got fed up, and I had to literally go without and started investing and saving and investing and saving and scrimping and scrimping and scrimping. It was tough. It was tough. And I wouldn't want anybody to have to go through what I did, but at the end of the day, I could have been that guy that just said, oh, well, you know, this job, it's not going to be ever enough to buy a house, and it's not ever going to be enough to invest, and I'm living in my car, and right now, even just trying to save up for a deposit like 3-4 grand doesn't seem like it's going to be possible. I didn't do that. I looked at it, I said, okay, so I'm in my car, so that means I've got no outgoings. Technically, in terms of rent, like rent, my biggest bill's gone. So then I could work and work and work for a good few months, live in my car, save more money because I was living in the car, and put something down in the house. There's so many things that you can do, but it's what are you actually willing to do? Because everything here, and I have to be brutally honest, everything here is excuses. Even when it comes down to like, oh, how cheap are your meals? Meals are more cheaper in Europe than they are in America. Well, it's like there's a way for you to get your meals down. Buy in bulk. If pasta's £1.50, right, then buy pasta, buy a tin of tomatoes, right, have that twice a day. Split that down. That's less than $3 a meal. There you go. I've already split that down for you, because you said I think I'm worth $3 a meal, right? So we'll split that down. So you've had 2 meals that are pasta and tomatoes, right? So that's $1.50, and let's say it's £1, or even let's say it's £1, $1.50 for the tomatoes, right? That's £3 all in. Split that into 2 meals, that's £150 per meal. You've got a little bit of, you've got money to invest. That's how you have to generally think, because my main worry for you right now, if I'm being completely honest, is not even about having kids. It's about, where are you going to be in 20 years' time? When your bones start aching and you don't want to work. You don't want to work now. So how do you think you're going to feel when you're 50, 60, 70? Because I'm telling you now, some people are never going to retire. They are never going to retire. And it's going to just be because they come out with a whole lot of this sort of victimized shit. Works 2 hours away, we'll get a job closer then. You know, there is no answer in terms of, like, right, okay, so you go down to the government, you sign on, because this is what you want. You want this sort of answer, right? You go down to the job center or whatever center, you sign this form. This form will get rid of your debt. And then you go there, you sign this section for section 7. And section 7 will give you an extra £300 a month towards your food. And if you go and sign for this for section 4, because you're a black woman, right, you're going to get reparation report, and that's another 700 a month just for you being you. No, that's not how it's going to work. That's not what's going to happen. It's never going to happen. So you have to be realistic, and at the end of the day, you're going to have to make sacrifices, because you didn't do it in your earlier life, so you're going to have to do it now. There could have been a time in your life when you was younger and you could have walked that extra 2 hours, right? And it wouldn't have really done anything. You would have knackered, yeah, but you've done it for a year, from 20 to 21, but now you can afford a car. Or now you can afford a scooter because you saved up and you've done what you're supposed to, but you haven't. And that's the problem. Like, we are all, I compare everybody, and I don't know if you remember that story to, you got the squirrel that's working all the way through the summer, saving his nuts, saving his nuts, saving his nuts. And I think it's I don't remember what it is. I don't know if it's a squirrel or another squirrel or a rabbit that's just chilling on the side, enjoying, laughing. Life's all good, enjoying, laughing. Then when winter comes, right? The squirrel, fine, because he's been stacking all the way through the summer. So now he can go and chill in his burrow and he can eat and do what he's got to do. While the other one that was messing around all the way through the summer is in a bad situation. That's all it is. That's people's lives from the get-go. Most people just, to be quite frank, mess around throughout their entire lives, and it puts them in a situation where they can't financially succeed, and they don't know how to financially succeed. You have to stop thinking with this sort of mindset. Everything. Oh, I had a job and I sprained my ankle. Fast forward, now I'm getting evicted. Oh, I can't get my food bill down cheaper because food in Europe is cheaper than food in America. I can't walk to work because work's 2 hours. Okay, then give in. Then give in. What more can I say? Then give in. People like you, right? I have to be completely honest. I'm not trying to be rude here, right? But I genuinely stopped hanging around with a lot of black people because it was always the same problem. I can't do this because I'm a black man and the white man's got his foot on my neck. I don't think I've heard that from you yet, but it's the victim mentality. I couldn't, it wasn't helping me. I couldn't be around that all the time because it was just so self-defeatist. I showed you what you can do to chop your meals down. I halve 2 of your meals per day. 1 pack of spaghetti, 1 pack of tomatoes, half that, boom, boom, that's 2 meals there. That can be lunch and dinner. Then you've got another £3 to invest. You've got £3 to take and invest. If it's 2 miles to walk to work, then get a bike. Get an electric bike. I got a friend down the road who actually made his own. There's things you can do. But unless you're actually serious about learning finance, getting, because like I said, you've not even really been completely honest when it comes to what you've said. You've not been. Because how can you be getting paid 1,600 a month? No, £2,000 a month, $2,000 a month. Your rent and everything included is 1,600. So you're getting paid enough to pay for everything. You're getting paid enough to pay for everything. Then you got food. So let's say you go 200 on food, right? Then you got another 200 there for whatever else you needed to do. To go and just burn if you wanted to. Fast, and then you got a job, right, which is extra income on top of that, which you decided to leave. Fast forward, I'm getting evicted. It makes no sense. So, you know, I hope you don't hear what I'm saying and take it offensive, because it's not meant to be offensive. It's meant to actually try and light fire under you, and hopefully, you want to move forward and do what you need to do. And I mean, what I would do if I was in your situation, I would really be trying to slim as much of my goes down as possible, eating the same thing constantly, getting a bike or finding some cheaper way to get to work, finding way I can get more extra income. Yeah, even if it means I'm sleeping less hours. Sometimes I might even not have to shower at night, but I can shower in the morning. It's what you have to do. It's whatever you have to do to move forward. Because when you're 60, 70, no one's coming to save you, and the government sure as hell ain't coming either. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to rattle on too long with this one, but that's Dystopia Man, TDM. Like and subscribe and like, and peace.